traders, Raghee here. It's Friday, and it's not been a great Friday, but we also have to remember that a lot of times we as traders tend to have a bullish bias. Our books, book of trades have a bullish bias, and down days tend to get us down, right? So I think the most important thing that, I'm thinking about this on Friday, and I was talking about this to the futures room and the sector secrets mastery room, and I said, well, probably the most important thing at a time like this for someone on this side of the mic, right, talking with you all, is to say not all environments are easy and not all environments are ideal. And just because you're a quote unquote full-time or professional trader, whatever that means, right? Just because you do this and have been doing this a long time doesn't mean that every kind of market move is one that you want to see. I will say this: November was probably my second trickiest month of the year. And so there's no reason for anyone to think that every single month out of the year is going to just be, great and easy. And if it's not in an uptrend, we'll immediately shift gears and try something else. So let me tell you what I do in situations like this. And what, for someone who's predominantly a trend trader, because if you've been following me on Charts and Coffee or in these free videos or in any of the trading rooms here at Simpler, I am all about the trend. But let's talk about where trend traders run into the greatest amount of problems. It's not a downtrend, and it's not even chop. It's the transition between those four market structures. In other words, when an uptrend is turning into chop, we're not quite trending in a good, high quality way, but we quite haven't established the chop yet. Or when the chop might transition into a downtrend. It's those brief, and on a daily time frame, it could take a couple of weeks, right? There's no magical set time, but it's in those transitions, right? So we have four trends, but in between them, we have transitions. And I'm going to say this: transitions stink. I'm sure someone out there loves them. I have, after 30 some odd years, rarely met traders who love transitional markets because they're not really one type or another. They're sort of in between. So here's what we can do. This is how I've handled it throughout my career. Don't lose the bullish bias. One of the biggest sort of upgrades that I had to my charts, one of the biggest upgrades that I had to my understanding of cycles, is to have the history of the cycles really easily color-coded for members to see. Now, granted, I've been using my color-coded candles, the grab candles and the wave, for over 2 decades, well over 2 decades. So I can look at this, look at the grab candles, and I'll understand that this is the transition to chop. Actually, right in here is a transition to chop, and I know that right about here is a transition to an uptrend, but that's 3 decades almost of staring at this stuff. So specifically, we went into chop really by December 1. The first sign was November 30, 2-3 sessions into yellow over yellow JT multi. We're in chop. This is no longer a trend. In fact, let me say, by the time we get the second red grab candle, we're no longer in a trend. And by the way, you can go grab the grab over at Countdown Trader. I'm not trying to tell you all to go buy this indicator. You don't have to. We've made this free since the time that I created them. So you can head on over to countdowntrader.com. Countdown Trader. And you can download the GRAB candles. You can also grab the wave indicator and propulsion and the Darvis. So there's free versions of those at countdowntrader.com. And I'm running TradingView. Heck, you could right now pause this video, go into the indicators at TradingView, look up Simpler, right? Just search Simpler in the indicators at TradingView, and you'll see there's a number of unlocked indicators. And you'll notice there's the Darvis, the grab candles have the wave and the grab, and there's propulsion. Go grab them, all right? We've made these available to you all for a long time because I do think they will help you. Right? I really do. So how do you know this market has broken the uptrend? Your first sign that something's not quite right, blue grab candle. Your sign that the uptrend is now turning into chop, the second red grab candle. Okay? So you start getting really comfortable counting candles and looking at colors. It's pretty darn easy. We've codified it, right? Okay, that's where we start to say, respect the trend that was, which is pure Dow 101. Let me do the same thing around the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ had a pretty tough day. Had an inside candle right here. Looked like it wanted to break out. We never really completed a close above this, which, you know, a lot of times I'll just trade a Pierce. But your risk on being preemptive in a situation like this is using that as the breakout, but using that as the stop. So the bulk of your risk is really between that green and red line. I'm really giving you all some things that I've taught in classes before because I think it's really important for me that right now I try to be as tactical with you all, as unemotional as possible, and say, look, you can handle this, and there are ways to understand what's happening, and there are ways to control risk. All right, so it's really important that this doesn't demoralize and destroy accounts. All right? I love retail traders. I've been one for most of my adult life, and I'm rooting for you. I want you to do well. So go get those grab candles, put them on your chart. If we get one more red grab, this trend is confirmed. Chop, not a downtrend, not a downtrend. Now, for a lot of you, the moment we break the wave, which is kind of a very aggressive way to say, look, we've broken the support of the 34 EMA wave. This is now no longer an uptrend. We're no longer in a trending environment. This is chop. But Charles Dow, 140 years ago, said, look, trust the trend that was. You know, he said a little bit differently. That's kind of my Ragheeism of it, but look at how we got here. Yes, there is still an overall directional bias that is up. This is not a downtrend. Remember, trends are not binary. If an uptrend is broken, it's distribution, it's chop. If a downtrend is broken, it's distribution or chop. The trend is going to take minimally on a daily time frame 5 to 8 sessions to reorganize it. We're talking a multi-week or multi-month uptrend. What we think it's a downtrend in one candle, a lot of folks do, and then they get caught up in the rip higher when we go bounce off an oversold level. So I hope this has helped. You know, take a look at the indicators. The color coding makes it really hard to argue with what you're seeing, right? It takes away a lot of the, well, in my mind, it takes away a lot of the subjectivity. Right? It just is what it is. So let's talk about something that's further along the move. Is the Dow in a downtrend? No. Still neutral on the lower row of the JT multi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 red grab candles in a row. I like to see about 8 to 10. 5 really get my attention, but I want to see 8 to 10 before I even think about treating this thing as a downtrend. We're still resting on the 200, which, believe me, is a very important support level. And really, this is a market trying to find out what the range is ultimately going to be. I know I've kind of run a little longer in this video, but I hope sincerely that this has taken some of the panic out. We just have to accept transitions stink. It's just the way that it is. We have to accept that trends will break, and then that ensues a lot of chaos sometimes for a brief period of time, and that's the chop that we're dealing with across a number of these markets. All right. If you have any questions and you're watching this on YouTube right now, feel free to leave a comment below, and I check these. I check these in the evening and in the morning. And then if you want some ongoing conversation about this, you have questions for me, every morning at 9 a.m. If you're a member, if you're not a member, come join me over at Charts and Coffee. We have a live Q&A for 20 minutes every morning, Monday through Friday. All right. So if you wake up Sunday with questions, if you wake up Monday with questions, whatever you kind of have those doubts and you want a little bit more analysis, come on over, join us for that live show. Have a terrific weekend. I'll see you all in the next update. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.